Hello everyone. I'm going to do a quick review of a motor wheel controller. This is a controller from the company Risun Motor. I'll leave a link to it in the description. So here we have this model, SVMC-7245M. The operating voltage ranges from 36 volts to 72 volts. My battery is 48 volts, which is a perfect match. The maximum current is 45 amperes, and the power ranges from 1000 to 2000 watts. This depends on the voltage. Since my battery is 48 volts, the continuous power load can be 1.5 kilowatts, and if it's peak, then it's 2.1 kilowatts. The kit includes the controller itself. On one side, we have the power wires coming out, two for power. Here they are, red and black. Then these wires go to connect the headlight. Light power. You can turn the light on and off with a button. I'm also putting a headlight on my bike, and I'll show you how it connects and works. And three-phase wires. These are for connecting to the motor. The kit also includes this three-phase terminal block. It's ceramic. We screw the wires for the electric motor here with 3 nuts. The cover is plastic and also included in the kit. I've already installed it on the bike. The kit comes with this colored display and this remote control. It's attached to the display with a wire. On the remote, we have plus-minus buttons, power, and menu. And on the display, once I connect it, I'll show you what's displayed, what settings and parameters there are. It mounts on the handlebars. The mount is plastic. There are spacers for different diameters. There were 2 sets of spacers. My handlebars are thin, so I took the thicker spacers. And you can also rotate it. The display has 2 positions. This horizontal one, well, I left it horizontal. You can rotate it, and it will be in a vertical position, and the menu rotates. So you can use it both ways. The buttons are also, in principle, high quality and waterproof, and they are fastened with a clamp that is tightened with an Allen key. Now let's connect it. I'm going to install it. There are so many wires here already. Now I'll show you where I'm going to put it. I drilled 2 holes in the frame, and we'll screw it in like this. And on this side, I'll take a plate and we'll press it against the frame with the plate. And it will stay here. Washers won't fit, the bolts are too short. And on the other side, I found this metal plate. And we'll also use a bolt and tighten it. There's a hole in the middle, perfect for tightening. I need to bend this plate a little. It will bend anyway when we tighten it. Like this. Now let's start connecting the power wires. 2 wires we send here to the battery. Then we'll connect the phase wires to the motor. Connecting to the phase wires. This terminal box. It doesn't have any mounts, so I want to simply secure it here to the battery with zip ties. Green, blue, yellow. And similarly from the motor, we have green, blue. Yellow. Also, here's the Hall sensor connector, as the controller sine wave must be connected. Without it, the wheel will not spin. This is for regular controllers, where it might work even without a Hall sensor. For sine wave controllers, we only connect it together with a Hall sensor. Everything matches here. The wires. Check the wires when connecting to make sure all the colors match. Just in case, because different manufacturers might come up with something different and insert the connectors differently. These are the wires for the headlight. We also route them forward. A voltage converter will also need to be installed there. Voltage converter. I think securing it here with zip ties, that would be good. There are still a bunch of wires that need to be connected. We'll route them this way. Oh, actually there's space here. We can make all the connections here and then just tie them with zip ties so they don't rattle. Here's our USB cable. This is for connecting to a computer. You can download software to a laptop, and in the controller there are many parameters to configure and set via USB. You can also buy a special Bluetooth module here and download an app to your phone, but I didn't get Bluetooth. It costs a bit more. Anyway, we'll configure it on the laptop and then we'll be ready to ride. This is the wire coming from the display. The wire is long with plenty of slack. We'll coil up the excess later. We're connecting. Here's our connector that goes to the display. We've connected the connector. If you use this controller without a display, there's a link from the seller on how to connect it all. That is, you'll need to put some jumpers so it works without a display. Connected. Then these two connectors are for the alarm. I'll also be installing the alarm. I'll show how the alarm works in a separate video for an electric bicycle. We'll leave them alone for now, but we will connect them too. Next, let's see what we have here. These are our brakes. I have wires coming from the brake levers. I'll show you now. Here's our brake lever. And here's the switch on it, and the wire goes. I've already routed it inside from one brake lever and from the second brake lever. The wires come, and here we have two connectors. We connect them. Here are our two connectors. The plugs match. Here's 1 and 2. When we start braking, the throttle cuts out. What if cruise control was engaged? Or you're holding the throttle grip? So the throttle cuts out and regeneration should activate. By default, it's disabled on the controller. You'll need to configure it from a computer, connect it, and then select the level of regeneration. So, I'll also do this later once I've fully assembled the bike, because there's no point now in trying it as I'll need to test it in practice on the finished bike. This is our reverse gear. Well, it's not needed on a bicycle. We won't be using it. We don't need reverse. Speed limiter. I won't be using that either. I don't need it. I'll leave it alone. We need to connect the throttle trigger. Here's the connector. The throttle triggers I install are the simplest ones, like these. I've tried various types. Firstly, I don't need an ignition switch, a voltmeter, or anything else, because everything is displayed on the screen. That's why I'm taking the simplest throttle trigger. I'll leave a link to it. It seemed the most convenient to me. Firstly, it's inexpensive, and secondly, it's comfortable, because there are others that are next to the grip, meaning they can be uncomfortable to press. Well, I like this one. It's simple. So I'll install it. Here's its wire, and on the other side, I'm also installing the exact same trigger. If anyone guessed what it's for, write it in the comments. It will be interesting to read. We also route the wire inside, but for connecting this, we'll make a separate video and see how this thing will work. I soldered a new connector onto the throttle grip, and we connect it to the controller. Now the connectors match and the wires also match. Connected. Now we connect it. Basically, everything is ready to go. Connecting the battery. It clicks powerfully like that. Okay, connected and everything is ready. Let's try turning it on. Here's our power button. Press and hold. The display lit up. Well, the camera doesn't convey the colors. It turns out some colors are reversed. That is, what's shown as blue is actually gray. So the camera somehow distorts the color. It's unclear why. Now I'll try turning off the light completely. Maybe it will be more visible in the dark. No, it still looks the same. So it glows blue, but the colors are actually all different. So probably because of the backlight, all the colors change. Otherwise, the background is gray. Well, I'll take a picture and upload it later. So here the battery charge is displayed, showing 96%. The time can be set. Here the speedometer and mileage are shown. And here you can switch between average speed and maximum speed with a button. So you can click here, a double press on M. This gives us access to the menu. And here we have settings in English. So all the settings are available. Well, it's understandable in principle. Display backlight brightness, clock, system settings. What's here? Metric system can be set to inches. System voltage 48 can be switched from 36 to 72. In general, auto assistant is enabled. This is gear shifting and exit. Next in the menu, auto off. So if you've arrived, you can turn off the bike with the power button, or you can simply set an auto off time. For example, 3 minutes without activity, and it will turn off by itself. Well, the time is set here. Next, we have the wheel diameter. My wheels are 24 inches, so you can set different sizes. Here, you choose the one you need. Mine is 24. Next, a password is required here. I don't know it yet. I need to write to the seller to find out what those settings are. In general, it's unclear. Here's the battery. Here's the battery voltage, various parameters. Well, it hasn't been used yet, so there are still dashes. So once you've ridden it, it will show full capacity, time, and temperature. For now, since I haven't ridden anywhere yet, these parameters are not available. Factory reset, change password information. This is for mileage. This is screen rotation. So if you want to change the orientation, you can rotate it so it's vertical. And here in the settings, you select to change to vertical and exit. The first gear is set, and here's my throttle connected. Here I'm accelerating. Here the brake disc is rubbing. So in first gear, the speed is 8 kilometers per hour. Here I start accelerating. Here's 8 kilometers per hour. I'll need to adjust the caliper. It's spinning in first gear. And you can select a gear, click. Second, third. Here, fifth is the maximum. So it reacts sharply to the throttle and has maximum speed. Maximum speed? Here the maximum is 60 km/h. Well, at idle it's 61.7, but under load I think the maximum will be 60. Here in fourth gear we have 40 maximum speed, and it switches like that. And you can set it to 0. Then the bike is on, but it doesn't react to the throttle. So this is our display. Power is also shown here. If we select it like this, it shows very little. Here are the watts. At startup, it also showed 0, probably too low. Here's 52 watts. Well, this is from the load. The wheel is spinning. Here's the consumption of 52 watts. It also shows, and like an economizer, also with arrows. So for example, I'll select fifth gear, and the load is shown with these dashes. So you can monitor the load and choose an optimal speed so it doesn't drain the battery, because at maximum speed, the power, even at idle, it shows 850 watts. So battery consumption will be high. In general, that's all for now. Watch the next videos. I still need to buy a few more parts. There are no pedals, crank arms. I need to buy a seat. And in principle, I can already go for a test ride, and also for shifting gears. I still don't have this shifter handle because I didn't know which one to get. So I thought I'd assemble everything first. And now I need to choose a handle, probably one with a lever on top for shifting because they are from the throttle. Well, there's free space here. I need to choose something to put it here. And watch the next videos. There I will connect the headlight, I'll tell you how it's all done, and I'll also install an alarm, and I'll tell you about that too. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks everyone for watching. Bye everyone.